Woke up, took a shower, brushed my teeth, got my 12-step skincare done, put on my tuxedo set, applied perfume all over my body, and then I was ready. What? You thought I was gonna go outside to a formal event or something? Hell no, baby! It's UNO time! Cue the gambling montage.
Yeah, that's right. It's all done.
Yeah, please, at least. Okay. Let's go! Let's go!
Beyond every written
Let's
start
go!
and end of the story.
That's 50-50, baby!
Till we
Let's
rewrite
go!
our fate.
Yay! And easy. That's just how it is when you're just so good at gambling. Please send help, I have credit card debt. Anything for a diva. But since I am #broke, she'll have to share with Xiang Liao for the weapon. Sharing is caring after all. So editor Xing here. I lied. I pulled for her weapon after I was done with the whole quest. I was down bad. Also, just wanna say, this isn't like a formal story recap or something. It's just my experience with the patch and my own retelling of the story. Okay, disclaimer over, roll the clip. And so we continue on with the celebration after we defeated the false sovereign to honor Augusta, the new hero of heroes. We were approached by Bruno, the MC for the celebratory party, and he told us that we were given the honor of being the rose bearer. Which I thought was funny because I just imagined Rover being pregnant with rose petals. But basically, rose bearers just give out rose petals to honor everyone who participated in the hunt. But then he said something quite off. He was all, "Oh, this wouldn't all have been possible if you did not cut through the miasma. You're so hot, Rover, let's make out." Which we were clearly surprised by, since, we did not do all that. That was UNO's doing, and there's no way we're gonna be taking a woman's credit for her work. And so, the quest has officially started. So we approached these gladiators who were just partying. Also, can we talk about the height difference? Okay, Short King! Also, not this guy just flexing at the back. The gladiators offered us to drink, but little did they know I was in a whole other type of thirstiness. Disclaimer, I'm joking, I'm so sorry for saying that. Moving on from that testosterone fest, we approached the nobles. Everything was normal enough. We gave them some petals, indulged in the conversation, make them sign to our multi-level marketing, but everything changed when we mentioned UNO to the two nobles. They showed confusion over the name we just uttered, and so after we were done with that, we approached the commoner and gave her lots of petals, baby. You will die in 1 hour. Anyway, the gladiator told us to go meet the priestess leading the oration, and so we did. Of course, we thought it was gonna be, our beautiful, confident, sassy, But no, it was just some random priestess. Bummer. Girlie started to yap about how Septimon's future was not able to be picked into and all that stuff. And again, it happened. UNO was nowhere to be mentioned. All her work on the hunt was being credited to Rover. So rightfully, we call her all that shit. Just here passing out. We're not just gonna stand here and take UNO's credits. Okay? Women already have it hard in everything, in professional workspace, just in everything in general, and we're not gonna stand here and let her work be discredited like that. I just now realized this made me sound so much like a performative male. Oh my god, I swear I'm not, please believe me. Again, she did not know who UNO was, and suddenly started to accuse us of gaslighting. As we explained who UNO was, everyone just looked at us crazy like we had just ingested 10 bottles of vodka. By this point, this UNO wannabe was starting to piss me off.
I can tell you with certainty that none among us bear that name.
Maybe remove that wig first, and maybe you'll remember. That's why you don't remember, because your wig is too heavy in your head. This forehead Isabella then started to question my intelligence. Now you're confusing my intelligence. Is that it? You're calling me dumb. You're calling me stupid. You're calling me ugly. That is rude. We told her about UNO who shot her moon arrow to clear the miasma, but still, She credited us for that, and Robert's reaction made me lose it. Me? It was me? So we walked towards a quieter area, being #emo as we reflect on the conversation, on how everyone had completely discarded Yuno's existence from their perception, how we're the only one who still remember her. And then, this balding piece of burnt jerky approached us and just started to fucking yap about how we might be a bit insane from the dark tide's effects. Like, excuse you? I think passing really encapsulated the feelings quite well.
Don't get too worked up. It ain't that bad. Not yet, anyway.
Old man, listen to me, old man. You balding hoe, listen to me. I am going to strap you onto a chair. I am going to make matcha. Mix that matcha with chili oil. I'm gonna put beef rendang into it. I'm gonna put sambal matcha into it. Put it into the blender. Blend everything up. Pour some flour into it. Mix it well. Make it into a batter. Put it onto the skillet. Put it onto the stove. Fry that pancake. And I'm gonna take the pancake again. Put it onto the blender again. Put some matcha into it. Put some more chili oil into it. The good kind, by the way. And then blend it all again. Put it into a glass. And make you drink every single damn drop. After that very normal conversation, Augusta finally showed up. Of course, we immediately brought up Yuno. And again, of course, even she does not remember. Oh, this Doom Yuri is filling my brain up so good. Augusta mentioned how if something existed, then a trace would always be there. And asked us if we have anything to prove of Yuno's existence. Bracelet. Yes, the moon too, but the bracelet. You have the bracelet. Exactly! The bracelet! Exactly, thank you. The bracelet. A flashback showed us trying to return the bracelet, which was promptly rejected by Yuno. Also, can we appreciate how beautiful Yuno is for a moment? Yeah. Back to the present. Sadly, while she thought the design of the bracelet's unique, it still pulled up a blank in her head. Just an ordinary bracelet to her. Yuno was completely gone from her memories. Even the woman who had spent the most time with Yuno had completely forgotten about her existence. The bracelet suddenly flared up, showing a trace that led up to her. Yuno, turning her head to smile at us with that same smile she had always shown. Seeing that, we immediately bolted to chase her, leaving Augusta alone with the question. What or who did Robert see? Also, look at this sick loading screen. Oh, Kuro Games, when I catch you! We finally caught up to Yuno. Yay! But it wasn't a happy reunion.
Yuno.
God, she's so pretty, man. Oh my god, she's so pretty.
Of course. Only you would be the exception.
So, you've known this all along?
A death that shouldn't have happened. Traded for an unforetold victory. A fair deal. Now... I am but a fading sliver of moonlight.
Holy hell, that's beautiful.
I'm sorry, but... even I fear being... forgotten.
Yuno was as faded as the moonlight. a sliver of her existence, confessing how even the great Yuno feared being forgotten as she dematerialized, leaving behind glitters that shone the moonlight. Rover stood there, processing everything until Abby came out of their hands. At the very least, Abby also remembered Yuno. We were not alone in this. Remembering Augusta's words, our next destination was the Tetragon Temple, seeking out any piece of Yuno's existence. Yuno's bracelet shone as we entered the temple, leading us deep into the temple's underground area. We ventured deeper, seeing the murals changing, showing Yuno. And so we approached the deepest part, revealing a defeated Avidius bask in shadow. In the most simplest way to describe it, Avidius had lost it after finding out how his entire memories and existence was fabricated. Mid-crash out, Lilibet showed up and basically told Avidius to shut the fuck up. Oh, the mother that she is. Anyway, she told us to meet her back in the hall. Before we went back though, we talked with Avidius for one last time, offering him the rose petal. While his past was all but a fabrication, he still did participate in the hunt, even playing quite a role in it. And in our books, that is something to be proud of. Even if everything was a lie, he was still a gladiator.
More like it.
Well, I hope you can be okay, Avidius. Now, if you excuse me, I got a date with a girl. Ay, mommy.
My apologies.
I'm sorry.
I should have been here.
After a moment of weakness, we finally talked with Lilibet. She mentioned how while it was normal not being able to peer into the full scope of the future, this time it was different. It was only a white blank. Like, there was nothing at all. But it was only for Septimon's future. For individuals, the priestess still could peer into the future. And then, this absolute baddie smiled as she revealed how she foresaw Avidius crashing out. Oh, elderly woman, just one chance, please, just one chance. And finally, what we sought for had been acquired. There actually was a record of Yuno. Only a record, as she was stated to have already been dead since 3 years ago from being engulfed by the dark tide. And this information made me take a 15-minute break because I need to process shit, okay? After getting back to it, Grandma Lilibet explained the loophole. If Yuno had died 3 years ago, she wouldn't have been involved in the hunt, being our and Augusta's companion. Meaning, only one of these could be true. That was if she died or she disappeared. But Rover here was getting all confused, so they went, explain in pop terms. Anyway, essentially, Rover was the one anchoring Yuno to this world, as they were the only one who remembered Yuno. Well, I mean Abby too, but that thing is just essentially in Rover's body. So yeah, they're like one entity? Anyway, can't the grandma explain Yuno was stuck in chaos, the border of life and death, existence and non-existence. While given two choices, whether to let Yuno die or let her be forgotten, this alpha wolf just went, nah, don't play like that, and went, I'm gonna go bring her back to life and existence, lol. Even if we were being threatened by the notion of not being able to go back or bring Yuno back, we were still determined to go against fate. And so, with Lilibet's guidance, we went to the place where Yuno had died as stated by the records. At first, nothing. But as we conversed with Lilibet, the bracelet started to glow. Lilibet started to go on and off about how what we find there would only be filled with pain and emptiness. And to that I say, oh, trust me girl, trust me. I live in Indonesia, trust me, I know how that feels. The bracelet showed the way forward, choice already cemented. And this was the moment where I personally think the whole thing with Prelova had altered something inside Rover. We put on the bracelet, being a Kanti Diva, and we traveled into the dark tide. The last thing we heard from Lilibet was her warning us to always follow Yuno's guidance inside the chaos.
Endlessly cycling, shattering futures. Is this chaos? Unsalvageable, fractured into pieces. This is chaos.
Ooh. Okay, QTE. Come on.
countless possibilities, both true and not true. This is chaos. Until every anchor is revealed, laid bare in the light.
Oh, the tears. Oh. After we witnessed everything, we were finally there, inside the chaos. We ventured deeper, finally finding Yuno enveloped in a lunar sphere, surrounded by the dark-tide creations. Get away from her! Get a job! After some spring cleaning, Yuno emerged from the sphere, looking ethereal with her opacity set to 80%. After a small conversation, we finally decided to collect parts of her as she guided us through the chaos. Together we witnessed Yuno's path, born from a champion gladiator mother and a blacksmith father. Everyone thought she would follow the path of gladiating, but Lilibet had foreseen that Yuno would be resonating with the moon phase, signifying her tremendous power to see fate's patterns, but also deciding her fate as a priestess, something she could not and should not refuse. Encountering figments of the past, we saw a startled gladiator and someone named Sibylla, Yuno's mother. The whole exchange implying that her mother died fighting the dark tide. After a short walk, the ground below the two collapsed, but we were just in time to catch Yuno, preventing her fall. Minor mishap avoided, we met a blacksmith, and here we found out that we are Yuno in this chaos, and that the Yuno guiding us is invisible to everyone but us. Long story short, Robert and Yuno went to get Lunarum Bow, Yuno's favorite and the material for her moon bow. The two rest, sitting on the Lunarum Bow. Then Yuno manifested all the parts of her that had been found. A vision emerged, showing a young Yuno besting gladiators. Honestly so embarrassing that these grown adults were losing to a child. Her ambitions, wanting to be better than her mother. The young Yuno proudly showed her medal to her mother, but then the vision twisted, showing Sibylla corrupted by the dark tide. Aside from all that, the manifesting succeeded. Yuno had upped her opacity percentage up to 100%. No more a ghostly apparition. Basically, resting among Lunarum bows was the key to make what had anchored become a part of her once again. As we proceeded, we were presented with two paths, either to follow fate, becoming a priestess, or to ignore fate and become a gladiator. As Rover and Yuno approached the path that branched away from the fate, the anchoring could not continue, since this was not what happened in the past, trapping Rover and Yuno forever in the chaos. That's what I would say if this was not a live service game and if that would result in a game over. But since we don't have any repercussions for our action, we could just go and follow the correct path. The two followed the true path. Now, a memory of Yuno in Eterna Square offering definition was revealed upon the two. As Robert took a seat, the scenery changed, back to how it looked in the real world. Now, we play the role of an outlander seeking Yuno. And of course, we can't forget Yuno's amazing self-confidence.
An outlander coming all this way, seeking the most gifted priestess, me, just to beg for answers about the future.
Oh my god, Diva! Diva! So she ran into Rover, still seeing the same white void, an unwritten ending. Yuno held their hand, and suddenly the memory came back to her. She wondered, why was Rover in the chaos? Why was she in the chaos? Yuno revealed this was the best choice she could make for Septimon. There was no other choice. She had already foreseen everything when she pulled the string of her moon bow, shooting that last moon arrow. But Rover was not going to give up. With the same confidence as Yuno had always shown, they didn't back down. They were going to go back together to the real world with Yuno, no matter what. Yuno told Rover to never be lost in the chaos, that they will meet again at the very end. Then for some reason, Rover turned into Yuno, performing divinities for the people in the square. I honestly do not know how this happened, so sorry about that. First, Aurelius, a gladiator who wanted to see if they would prevail over the Tacit Discord. You will die in 60 minutes. Thank you. You can pay by clicking that subscribe button. Anyway. Now that the shameless promo is out of the way, the vision showed that the gladiators prevailed over the Tacit Discord. A victory. The next person was Samara, wanting to see if she would have the happy ending she wanted with her partner. I mean, I'm not a love therapist, but as long as you give me money. Alas, the vision showed her betrothed leaving her, and presumably their child. But it wasn't clear enough. We didn't know if her husband's face was of fury, fear, or sadness. We told her about our vision. Even with the dire reading, Samara still stood strong on her beliefs. Next! Nicholas was next, one half of a twin brother. He was here to play a trick on fate. Kyrian, his brother, was fated to die in the battle, while Nicholas' vision showed him dying in his 50s to 60s. And this was the trick. He would switch places with his brother, being in the battle instead of Kyrian. It's a kid! The last one's Maya, a little girl waiting for her grandfather, but the vision showed nothing. A void, but not white, just pitch black. And that's when it hit. The grandfather was already dead, but the little girl still believed he could come back, as her grandfather told her that the moment the tears she bottled inside the vial were all dried up, he would come back. But we knew that was a lie by the grandfather. The little girl did not take it well. She still believed in her grandfather, and so she ran from the square. Now we're back in our own body, facing the Yuno who had been guiding us. Also, she got stuck for a bit and I think it's funny. We walk hand in hand, witnessing the prophecy told actually happen. Aurelius won, but at the cost of his comrades' legs. Samara and her daughter were left behind by her husband. While still distraught, her willpower was still strong. Nicholas took his twin's part in the battle, gravely wounded while his twin sat across the sea and was killed by a Tacit Discord either way. He tried to play with fate, but in the end, he was the one who got played. And lastly, little Maya. She had finally come to terms with her grandfather. The memory trip finished. The two found themselves in front of a lunarum bow again. It was time to manifest these memories back to Yuno. Vision of her mother showed up again. This time, the one of her under the influence of the dark tide clearer. Yuno had closed her eyes, and that's why it was only for a small duration of time during the first manifestation. Because of this, she vowed to never close her eyes upon the whims of fate ever again.
I'll sit at the crossroads of fate. I'll stare into what's to come and not flinch. Be it joyful, tragic, rebirth, destruction. Until I see it all. Until I know everything. Because I am stronger than anyone else. This is something only I can do. But
if the priestess's prophecies were really perfect, we could avoid all misfortune.
If there is such a thing as fate, then misfortunes cannot be avoided.
Just because you know the outcome doesn't mean the journey isn't worth it.
If life is destined to follow a predetermined path, does it even matter if we know our fate?
after all I see, could I ever answer what they hope of me?
Long story short, the manifestation was a success, and the two ventured on again. Now, they faced Augusta. It was clear that Augusta did not like to be a pawn of fate. Fate is cruel. The outcome of a success or a failure? It was all fate's doing. Humans, puppets of fate. What was the purpose of the priestess? Only to foretell? What is the point if they could not change fate? And so, we were given two paths again. Whether to wait and see, or to seek Septimon's fate immediately. Once again, picking the first would lead to a dead end, as Yuna did see Septimon's fate, and that's how she and Augusta came up with the plan concerning the false sovereign. The two went through the correct path, now transported to a place corroded with the dark tide. Yuno felt this place was important to her, but as they conversed, the manifestation of chaos showed up, trying to root them to the chaos. Yuno!
I remember now. This is the place where it all began. It's also where it ended. It's okay. Run! Go there!
Rover tried to cut them all down, but in the end, chaos caught Yuno. In this moment, she remembered this was the place where her beginning and end happened. Her last words were for us to go to the direction she had just pointed out earlier. Along the way, we witnessed past memories. It was revealed Yuno had foretold everything about how they would fail, but still, Yuno insisted on coming with them. After a short while, we encountered Aurelius, the same gladiator from before, conversing with Yuno and the rest of the group, accepting their fate. Rover moved again, finding a broken priestess candelabrum. As they fixed it, we got a vision.
Fate unveils itself to the priestess. Following its guidance, she reaches the end again and again, foreseeing its conclusion. Heads fall, whimpers fade. She sees no hero or heroes. Variables added, visions expanded. She sees no hero of heroes. Beyond a doubt, no other choice. She sees no hero of heroes. The priestess is never wrong, but she despises her own truth. For her success is Septimon's defeat. Defeat. Why? Defeat. It's always defeat.
If fate one day wills our annihilation, if we are nothing more than fate's puppets,
when that time comes, what good is a priestess? Septimon will be no more. Nothing will remain. Only she who foresaw every death still lives.
Yuno sought the future of Septimon, finding no hero of heroes, finding out that Septimon will be no more, only for her to remain alive, just her and nobody else. Yuno looked like she was on the brink of giving up, but no, she could not give up. She will not accept this. She won't be a puppet anymore. She will throw fate off the course.
Lies. A mouthpiece, a silent witness. If this is what you expect of me, I'll raise my bow and turn fate into a storm of possibility.
That shit's so cool. Oh! Let's go!
If just once I can prove you are not fixed, then will this so-called end even?
Wait, Priestess Yuno. Are you really going to stand with us against the dark tide? You've already seen how it ends, haven't you?
Of course. I'm doing this because it's what I want. The answer I seek is the one only I can give.
He is going to choose her own path. Back to Rover. We finally walk towards the final Lunarum bow. The blacksmiths from before approach us, clearly different from all the other beings in the chaos.
Stumbling into chaos.
Who are you?
What else would you be here for, if not to take something back with you? Also, with that thing on your wrist there, isn't it clear? That's how she's been connected to you all this time.
See?
Only anchoring explains that.
It's the moon bracelet! He knew from the start. He explained how the bracelet was the one connecting and anchoring Yuno to Rover. It was then he revealed his role. A blacksmith, a father to Yuno, and the reflection of Yuno's past in the chaos. He revealed how Yuno's specter became more real as the bow grew. But no, that specter was never truly Yuno. The lunar room bow was the key to everything. It was the one holding all parts of Yuno's memories. Rover was given two choices. Simply put, to choose the safer option, but still not bringing Yuno back to the real world, or to gamble on the chance of bringing her back to existence. Her father mentioned Yuno's will to fight fading, but we knew better. Yuno would never give up. After all, she did promise to meet us in the end. And so we steadied our posture, striking down the bow, each time harder than before.
This is...
Yuno woke up to find herself in the middle of battle. It was revealed that she had her memories with her. This was why Yuno felt the place was important. It was the same place where she finally stopped seeing the future 3 years ago. Aurelius told her to go back. But no, she's not going back. She'll be the one to choose her own path. She joined the battle, her moonring aiding the injured gladiators. Finally, at the last battle, she joined Aurelius in holding back the dark tide. But they were losing. Defeat was imminent.
Again, as always. But why would I just stand by and watch you, accept you, complete you? No, even if the end is here, unavoidable, I still have the right to refuse. The Lunaran bow has grown strong. From now on, I need no one's guidance.
What? But no, it can't just yet. Yuno saw them. Rover finally cutting through the bows. All the manifestation inside the bow empowering her. And now, she chose her own destiny. Well, let's go! Wait, holy shit. Oh, this is so big! This is so big! Oh my god!
Stars fly.
told you. I'd rewrite the ending you changed.
In the end, they succeeded. Robert had written another ending for Yuno. They both stood in the vast area of pure white, adorned by glittering lights. They have finally escaped chaos. Unwritten void. This had become Septimon's future, full of possibilities, not a predetermined path. This was why Lilibet could only see a white void. It's a realm full of endless possibilities for Septimon. But as Robert opened their eyes, back to the place where it all started, Yuno was nowhere to be seen. Still, we decided to return to the hunter's den first. As we strode through the sky, visions of Yuno flooded our mind.
If one day this bracelet becomes meaningless to anyone else, I hope you will remain the exception, unwritten one. Even I fear being forgotten. A death that shouldn't have happened, traded for an unforetold victory. A fair deal. But perhaps in that distant future, forgetting might prove far easier than remembering. Never mind. In any case, you are not to return it. I won't let go. I don't want to let go. But be careful. Don't get lost in the chaos. And I shall put my best foot forward as well. We shall meet at the very end.
We talked to the Peterbys, learning how Ovidius left the underground temple. But this wasn't about him. What's important was that Yuno was back, baby! We're so back!
You know who Yuno is?
Yuno? I don't think I've heard that name before.
Maybe we're not as back, but at least she's there. Anyway. Oh, this damn old man again! Oh, you balding bastard!
Since you've kept your distance from the dark tide, how are things? The bow? The girl? Those daydreams of yours get any better?
Kept my distance? I even went right back into it. Enough of that balding sack of unfulfilled dreams. We basically just asked everyone if they had seen a woman with dark blue hair and a twin tail. As the celebration went on, we finally saw her. And Lord, she was still the same, Yuno, as she always was. Just listen to how happy I sounded. Yuno!
I could hear your voice from a distance. Yuno! Isn't that it?
Ah! She's back! She revealed during that battle, she made her choice, giving up her power to see clear visions of the future for a power to hold back the Dark Tide's creation. And because of that, the future changed slightly. Once everyone was doomed to fall. But it changed. Aurelia survived the battle he should have died in. This was the moment she finally succeeded in changing fate. That's why she and Augusta made that plan, since fate did not show a hero of heroes. But she hid the fact that she would lose her existence from Augusta, knowing that if she had told Augusta about it, she would not have proceeded with the plan. In the end, everyone had still forgotten her. But of course, Yuno being Yuno, she was positive she'd be friends again with everyone she was close to.
Well, I'm certain Augusta and I, along with the rest of them, will be thick as thieves again, this time creating new futures. You really shouldn't underestimate my charm.
Exactly, oh God, I love her so much! And so we enjoyed the festival together, the future of Septimon unclear. In a way that was good, since now, everything was determined by their own choices, not fates playing hands.
After fighting side by side, we share honey and wine under a rain of petals, drinking to our heart's content. Surely you've heard of this little tradition of ours, haven't you, unwritten one? Come on, let's go, together, to be drenched in those rose petals that smell of glory and triumph.
Wow! The end of the quest got me thinking. Would it be better to have your whole existence erased, including your own self? Or would it be better to have yourself be brought back to existence, only for everyone to forget who you are? In Yuno's case, it's pretty obvious it was the latter, the diva that she is. This was my first time creating content like this. Hell, this was my first time even creating content that is not just cuts of my gameplay or a song cover. Either way, if you've watched till the end, thank you so much for your support. Maybe leave a like and subscribe to a small poor channel like me, boo-hoo. Goodbye!